It was a cold winter evening on the island of Sodor. Porter was waiting to take a train home when Edward was waiting at Wellsworth Station. Porter, said Edward, you might want to be careful. I've heard that there's a landslide near Henry's Tunnel. Better be careful, said Edward. It could be dangerous. And Edward puffed away with his last train of the night. I think you'll need to take Edward's advice into consideration, me hearty, said Salty. You know, landslides are very dangerous, and I want you to be very careful. And Salty puffed away with his last train of the night. Pish-posh, thought Porter to himself. But then Porter's driver spoke to the Wellsworth station master. Excuse me, driver. Could you, tell Porter and the fireman that the landslide has blocked Henry's tunnel. It is very urgent that you take another route. What's the quickest route? Said Porter's driver. Search me, but you've got to figure that out on your own. The quickest would probably be right by Aunt Thomas's branch line. All right, and then we'll take that route. And then Porter's crew spoke to Porter. I'm sorry, old boy, said Porter's crew. It looks like we're going to have to take a different route. A landslide has blocked Henry's tunnel. We cannot go any further, so it looks like we're going to have to go another way. That's fine, said Porter. At least I get the chance to stretch my wheels after a hard day's work. The train that Porter was carrying were a bunch of work unit coaches. He had to take the workmen home, so Porter puffed away to do that. But then, the Wellsworth station master told Porter's driver that they had to pick up the breakdown train as well. It was waiting at the Sodor airport. Porter arrived at the airport and he was coupled up to the train. And then, he puffed away the rest of the way. The train got a little heavier as a result of the breakdown train being added to the rest of his train. As the Wellsworth station master said earlier, there was a landslide blocking Henry's tunnel. It had fallen as a result of hard rains during the week. Porter accidentally went down the wrong route and crashed through the landslide. He was stuck. Ooh, said Porter in a muffled voice. His voice was blocked as a result of dirt ending up in front of his mouth. Porter's driver got out of his cab and phoned for help. By that time, Edward arrived and pulled the breakdown train out of the tunnel. It was a lot of hard work, but Porter and Edward was able to get the breakdown train safely out of the tunnel. The workmen were all right. They were just a little annoyed that Porter went down the wrong route. And then Salty came and attached a rope to the end of his buffer beam. Are you all right, Porter? Don't worry. I will get you out in no time, me hearty, said Salty. I think you may have made a mistake. Thank you, said Porter. I owe you one. So a cable was attached to Porter's buffer beam, and with a lot of force, Porter was able to be re-railed onto the rails. Then Salty took him to the works to be repaired. Thank you, said Porter. Man, you saved me. Of course I did. I remember the time me and Fergus saved a ship from crashing into the lighthouse. It was a big, stormy night. I could remember it. Oh yeah, you told me that tale, said Porter. Man, that was something, said Porter. But anyways, thank you. I'll need to get my buffers cleaned up. And Salty puffed to the works. The next day, Porter was about to leave the quarry to take the remainder of his train from last night. He was a little concerned at first, but then he grew more confident. And then he left the quarry. It was a cold day, and Porter had a struggle getting up Gordon's Hill. It was a lot of hard work. As he was about to ascend, a big gust of wind blew. Porter was slowing down and slowing down. What in the... Driver, we gotta stop. No, we can't, said Porter's driver. We gotta keep going, otherwise we won't be able to make it up. Yeah, you're right, said Porter's fireman. You better be quick. We gotta get out of here. Porter kept struggling. His cheeks were red as James's paint. and snow began to fall. At last, Edward arrived and buffered up to the back of his train. At last, Porter was able to get down Gordon's Hill the other way, and Edward helped him the rest of the way to his destination. That night, the engines were all talking in the sheds. They remember seeing about today's work when Sir Topham had arrived. "Engines, you've all worked hard today, and I'm pleased with you. Porter, I've heard about everything, and I'm pleased with your efforts. As a reward, you shall get a nice fresh coat of paint, and you will be given the day off tomorrow. Duck will take over your work." And Sir Topham had left. "Oh, that's lucky," said Edward. "Well, at least you learned your lesson." "Oh, don't mind me," said Porter. It was an accident." "Oh, I know it was," said Thomas. "But we all know this. We've all learned from our mistakes. And like they say, you can't judge a book by its cover." All the engines agreed with Thomas as they fell happily to sleep, remembering a hard day's work and remembering all of Porter's funny incidents.